What's going on, swim fans? Welcome back to Whiteboard Wednesday. In this video, I'm gonna share with you how to swim faster in just 4 weeks. I'm gonna share with you a strategy that you can apply in any swimming goal that you have. So whether you wanna swim faster in a specific race, like the 50 freestyle or the 200 IM, or you're looking to improve your overall swimming speed, endurance, capacity in workouts, you're training for triathlon and open water race, it doesn't matter, because in this video, we're gonna break down the strategy that you need to apply to your training sessions. And by the end of the video, I'm even going to show you a specific workout and 3 different goals. And I'm gonna walk you through the same workout. How can it be accomplished? 3 different ways depending on your goals, whether it's speed, underwaters, or your endurance. Let's go ahead and get right into it. What I wanna do is I wanna break this apart into 2 pieces. We've got the mechanical execution of how you can actually swim faster, and then we have a training component. And what you see here on the whiteboard is 2 different variables. And this matrix we're going to talk about applies how you can think about your training from the perspective of speed, power, endurance, and technique across the dimensions of freestyle, IM training, kicking, and of course, drills. Now let's go ahead and start over here on this side talking about the mechanical execution of how you can swim faster. But before we do that, I want you to take a step back and think about your own swim training and think about what's sort of fallen off over the last 4 weeks. We're trying to swim faster in 4 weeks from now, but if we rewind, what have we done in the last 4 weeks that's really not improved at all? That's the thing we're going to focus on. And if you've been swimming for a long period of time, maybe you've been swimming for years or even decades, you want to think about this from a much more holistic perspective. What have you been working on that you've been able to see either consistent progress and development, or even maintenance if you're an older swimmer and you're just trying to maintain where you're at? What have you been able to do to just maintain? And where have you fallen off? What are some areas of your mechanics that are simply below where they used to be? So we're not even talking about improving right now. We're just talking about where are you falling off if you don't focus on that area. What I did was I broke it apart into 5 different areas to help you think this through. The first one is your streamline and underwaters. And when we're talking about streamline and underwaters, we're talking about your distance underwater to 5 meters, 10 meters, 15 meters. You can even do this from a time perspective, like how long it takes you to get to 15 meters underwater. We could also talk about flexibility. Maybe you're just not as flexible as you once were, whether it's 4 weeks, 4 years, or 40 years. And when you push off the wall, you're just not as streamlined. So as a result, even if you're not pushing off and you're going 15 meters underwater, you're still suffering a little bit because you don't have as much flexibility, or you know that you could be more flexible, but you're simply not focusing on that. And you know that that flexibility will increase your streamline time, speed, distance underwater. Another variable to consider here in the first one is how fast and how hard you can push off the wall. This is strength, this is explosiveness, this is a plyometric type of thing. How explosive are you in pushing off the wall? So this is one component that you could focus on if that's an area that you're lacking in. That's an area that you want to improve on. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the rest of these, and that's what you should be thinking about. Which area do you really want to focus on? Ideally, you're training all of this. You're focusing on your streamline, your flip turns, your breath control. But where are you lacking? What are you going to focus on? And think about it from the last 4 weeks, the last 4 years, the last 40 years. That's how we're going to think this through. Let's talk about the second one, flip turns. Now the flip turn can be broken up in a few different dimensions. It's different than your underwaters. The flip turn is the speed of your actual turn. How explosive are you in rotating into the wall and coming off the wall? Another variable is the time that you spend on the wall. This is your agility. When I was in college, we had a guy on our team who was one of the most explosive swimmers I've ever seen. His agility, from the moment his hands touch the wall in breaststroke to the time his feet leave, I've never seen anyone faster. Absolutely unbelievable. And that's great agility. Now, you don't have to be the fastest person in the world to have great agility. This is a component that you can focus on that'll make your overall swimming faster. And if that's what you want to focus on, it's good to have that awareness. But think about your flip turn for all the strokes and even the mechanics of how you do the flip turn. If you're trying to do an individual medley turn like the crossover, backstroke to breaststroke to freestyle, that all would fit into this category. Now, the third category, from mechanic perspective, is your breath control. So what is your breathing pattern when you swim? If you're aerobically swimming, are you breathing every 2 strokes? Are you breathing off the walls, kind of back to the flip turn here? Are you training for the 50 freestyle? And you're trying to get, how do I get faster in 4 weeks in the 50 freestyle? Well, how many breaths are you taking in that 50 freestyle? Are you taking 5 breaths, 3, 1, 0? And so this changes based on the goal that you have. So if you have a 50 freestyle, you have a different breathing pattern than the 100 freestyle. In the 50 freestyle, you might be able to do it in 1 breath or 0 breaths. In the 100 freestyle, you might have to breathe every 2 strokes or every 4 strokes. And so the distance and the specific thing that you're training towards is really, really important. Another factor for breath control is your level of comfort and potential anxiety that you feel in the water, or if you're competing in an event, the anxiety that you feel before the actual competition. But regardless, your breath control can have a huge impact on not only something like the 50 free, doing it in no breath, but also if you're trying to swim a 200 breaststroke and you want to stay underwater long on the pullouts. So number 1 and number 3 start to impact each other, where you're trying to extend your underwaters, but you don't have the breath control to be able to do that. Whether you're new to swimming or you're an experienced athlete, there's one thing we all have in common. Our hair and skin get super dry from all that chlorine. And our video sponsor today can help us with that. I'm excited to introduce to you TryHard. TryHard makes hair and skincare products that allow you to maintain your active lifestyle without compromising your skin and hair health. Their pre-swim products reduce the amount of pool chemicals that your hair and skin absorb. And the post-swim products remove chemicals, add extra hydration, and neutralize that chlorine smell. Each product is formulated with natural red algae, Dead Sea minerals, and botanical extracts to prevent and eliminate the effects of chlorine, bromine, and even ocean salts. Pro and Olympic swimmers love this stuff, and I do too. So if your skin gets super dry and your hair feels like straw, I definitely recommend picking up some TryHard. Use the code SWIMPRO15 to save 15% off your order. This discount is exclusive for the MySwimPro community, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Now let's get back into the video. Now the fourth category under mechanical execution is your body positioning. Now this ties into technique, but I wanted to break up technique into 2 different components. The first one with body positioning is all about reducing your drag, because if you remember, water is 800 times more resistive than air. This is really important to consider when you're trying to reduce your drag, and that factors in your head position, and also this changes over time as you fatigue. So if you're in a position where you're swimming not efficiently, and your body position is sagging, and you know this happens as you fatigue, it gets worse and worse and worse, and your legs start to drag in the water. That 200 butterfly couldn't feel any worse on the final 50. Or maybe you're just swimming 500 yards, and you know that by the end of that 500, your butt is sagging through the water. That's an area that we can focus on. And finally, it's technique. Now, technique is something a little bit different than body position. I wanted to break those out just a little bit. We're talking about something like distance per stroke. Now, if you want to improve your distance per stroke, yes, you'll improve your body position, and that can help. When we're talking about distance per stroke, I'm really thinking about your power per stroke, how you're mechanically grabbing the water with that early vertical forearm. What are the actual mechanics that you're doing in your technique to make sure you're pulling the most water possible? Whereas with body position, we're more so thinking about reducing drag. And so with technique, I'm really thinking about how do you improve your SWOLF score? How do you take less strokes per length, increase your distance per stroke, maximize your power? And that's really the effort level required to swim smooth. You ever see that really good swimmer and they're just floating through the water? It looks like they're not even trying. That's what we're going for, and that is the effort level to swim smooth. Now, you want to make sure you understand which area are you focusing on. If you want to swim faster in 4 weeks, I need you to focus on only one of these. It's really tempting to try and focus on all of these. And when you get to the workout here at the end, you're going to see how that's not possible. You're going to have to be selective at what you want to work on. Now, here's the exciting thing about this. You don't have to create anxiety as to like, oh crap, which one of these 5 do I focus on? It really doesn't matter that much. Sure, you might be better off picking one of these over the other, But the important thing is that you focus on something. And what you focus on will dictate how you improve. If you don't focus on any of them, well, you're not going to improve. If you try and focus on all 5 of them, you're still not going to improve as much as you could if you just focus on one of them. Remember, this is only 4 weeks we have, so you got to be selective. Which one of these are you going to focus on? Where do you see yourself having the highest return on your investment of time and effort? Now let's put this over into this chart. Now there's 4 different dimensions. So let's say you're focusing on freestyle, like the 50 freestyle. So if we're focusing on the 50 freestyle, obviously speed is very important. So we're going to try and apply all the things that we want to work on in freestyle in speed perspective. So let's say we want to work on our breath control. We're trying to take no breaths in the 50 free. So this is the quadrant we focus on. Remember how I said if you focus on everything, it's not going to work? That would mean I'm putting an X in everything across this board. It's not going to work. You're not going to focus on freestyle, IM, kicking, drills, and speed and power and endurance all at the same time. You're going to set yourself up for failure. So let's stick with that 50 freestyle example. We're going to focus on freestyle. We're going to focus on speed. We're also going to focus on technique, because we know that we're going to have mechanical efficiency, and we're going to nail down our breathing pattern, which is technique. If you're going to take 1 breath, you got to know where to take it. Two breaths every 4 strokes in the 100 free, you got to know where to do it. And you're going to focus on power. So if you see what I did there, out of all the possible selections here, 16 different boxes, I'm focusing on 3 of them. And that allows you to really hone in on the skills that you need. And you're also going to focus on drills. So that could be here and here. Even then, 5 out of 16, pretty manageable. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a different marker for a different example. And let's go ahead and use red. We're going to focus on our streamlines off the wall in the 200 IM. So now we're really focusing on the streamline, the underwaters, and that means we're going to be in this quadrant right here. We have great speed, but we die. So our problem is that we don't have the endurance underneath the water to stay underwater. So we're going to focus on endurance, we're going to focus on technique, and we're going to focus on power. Okay, so it's really important that we do the underwater kicking to focus on that as well. And that is also an endurance thing. We have great agility underwater. We need the endurance on the underwater. And so what you want to do, if you see what I'm doing here, that's 4 out of 16. So that's only 25% of the board. And the reason why I created this matrix is to illustrate the importance of focus. Because if you try and focus on everything, it's not going to work. And so you want to really come back to this side. What are the things that we need to focus on? And then let's be selective as to how we apply them in our different strokes. You know, I could have listed out all the strokes, and if you're doing IM, that's, you know, we bucketed it all together. Now let's go to the final part here of the video, which I think you guys are really gonna like. This is gonna add a ton of value. So if you guys are finding value so far, go ahead and smash the like button, destroy it for me. So let's talk about this workout across 3 different goals and how you can think about swimming this workout or any workout that you do to get the most out of it. Let's go ahead and get right into it. It's 4,200 meters, and we're gonna do it 3 different ways across 3 different goals. I'm gonna talk through each goal and how you can apply your skills to that specific workout. So we've got speed, underwaters, and endurance. If you're trying to improve your speed, let's say for the 50 freestyle, the way you're gonna swim this set, 500 free, easy peasy, nice and smooth, perfect technique. That's the same on every single goal. You're always gonna swim like that. But when you get to the 1250s kick, you're gonna do every third 25 as fast as possible. Remember, speed is the name of the game. The rest is going to be active recovery kick, but every third 25, you're going to just blow out your legs. You're going to go maximum speed the entire 25 meters. You're going to go 850s IM order, nice and easy, last part of the warm-up. Then when you do these 6-100s pull, you're actually going to descend 1 through 6. So you're going to get faster on each single 100. So number 1, go nice and easy, and number 6 should be a good effort. Remember, this is 3 rounds through, so on each round, I want you to go even faster on each of those rounds. So let's say on the first round, you finish the last 100, and you go 1 minute and 5 seconds. The second round, the last 100, should be 102, and then the final one, try and go under a minute. Then we're gonna go 450s freestyle. We're gonna alternate 1 easy, 1 fast. 1 easy, one fast. And so that's really important. Same concept as well, to go faster on every single round. Try not to fall off. Try not to save some either, but you're going for speed. 300 easy and you're good. Let's say you're focusing on your underwaters. You're focusing on the 100 butterfly and you're trying to be really consistent with your underwater dolphin kick. 500 freestyle, nice and easy, perfect technique. 1250s kick. We're really going to focus on hitting 10 meters underwater on every single 25. 1250s kick is 600 meters in a short course pool. That is a total of 24 25s that you need to be 10 meters underwater. So you're basically doing half of this set underwater. And the key is consistency, not necessarily speed. You have the speed, you're trying to be consistent. 850s IM order. Nice and easy. Just go ahead and finish the warm-up. Then we're gonna go 6-100s pull, and we're gonna do this on a nice aerobic threshold pace, which means you're not gonna get a lot of rest. We're building your capacity, so that way we're tired when we get into these 450s, where we're really pushing the underwaters. I want you to swim these going 15 meters underwater on every single 25. Now, if you're not able to do 15 meters, maybe it's 10 meters, maybe it's 7, maybe it's 5 dolphin kicks, whatever it is, focus on those underwaters, and your goal is to actually increase your distance off the wall across all 3 rounds. If you'd like to be fancy, you can negative split the number of dolphin kicks you take. So if you take 5 kicks on the way down, take 7 kicks on the way back. Try and hold that through all of them. 300 easy and you're good. Finally, if your goal is endurance, you're trying to improve your capacity, you're training for the 400 or the 500 freestyle or the mile, you're going to start out with a 500 free. Perfect technique, as always. You're gonna go 1250s kick, and on these, you're gonna focus on a short rest interval where basically you're gonna feel like you're kicking a 600 straight, and I want you to do the evens fast. So you're gonna go 1 easy, 1 fast, but the interval should be so tight that it feels like you're kicking the entire thing straight, but you're alternating your speed. That's really gonna build your capacity. 850s IM order, nice and easy. Smooth, chill out on those. Then you're gonna go the main set of 6-100s pull. They're gonna be threshold short rest. You're not getting a lot of rest on those. Then you're gonna go 450s freestyle, where on these, let me tell you, you're gonna go 1 easy, 1 fast, 1 easy, 1 fast, but you're gonna do all of them on a short rest interval. So you're not getting a lot of rest. That's the pattern here. You do 3 rounds of that, and then you're gonna do a 300 easy. And that is the endurance version of that same workout. So the same workout can be done 3 different ways, 3 different focus areas. If you're an athlete or you're a coach, great way to think about it. And if you guys want more workouts just like this, or you want a training plan so you don't have to think about anything, make sure you check out the MySwimPro app, available for iPhone and Android. Get started with a training plan or the workout of the day. We even have a 4-week USRPT focus plan where you can actually do the entire workout start to finish, focusing on speed and performance. So if that's interesting to you, make sure you check it out. Finally, if you guys are not in the MySwimPro Facebook group, it's the largest digital swimming community in the world. You can ask your questions directly to the pros like myself, and we'll be in there answering all your questions, and you can be a part of a fun community. So I can't wait to see you guys in there. I wish you the best and happy swimming. Bye.